Yo. What's up, Snort the Crew? It's yours truly, Snort that dude. Right now, I'm about to get into that 13 murders. That's the title. 13. Hold on. In 2 years. God. Golly. This is shot right. This is shot right. They a little wacky up there, bro. This is one of Chicago's deadliest gangs. Deadliest gangs.
Nobody wins when the family feels.
Yeah, we out here on the 9. Rest in peace to the boy.
Hold on, cause I ain't gonna shout out the Motion Club, but some samples came in today. Whatever I show is getting made, like as we speak, like as we, you know what I'm saying? So hold it down. But when they drop, go crazy. I'm looking for the most support I ever got on any merch on. I know my back look funny because I got my dreads tucked in. That's the baller. That's the B.O.P. Big old player. That's that big old player right there. Woo! Woo! All right, that's that Bay I Miss You. Cause Bay I Miss You. That's that Bay I Miss You right there. On the shirts, we gonna restock on the shirts. Eventually. I call these the Three Stooges. That's the Bay I Miss You sock. I ain't even bust them out the pack yet, you know what I mean? Now, this ain't getting made as we speak. This is in limbo. I don't know if I want to drop these. They kind of give off True Religion vibes. Yeah, they kind of giving off True Religion vibes, and I ain't fucking with the vibe, chat. But let me know what you think. These jeans. That's why I say they give off True Religion vibes. You see the pockets? You see the pockets? Yeah. React to the new black shit. I already did that. It's gonna be after this stream, trust. I'm iffy on them. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But I got another idea that's getting cooked up as we speak. Indonesian cuz been on bullshit. Chat.
Hey, young as hell, 15 years old, just got killed. Shot. They got a little tribute out here, so. Man, I love my team. Man, I love my team. Oh my God.
You feel me?
Right.
He try to. What's that name of that dance that they do in Chicago? See if I know how to do it. Let me see if I know how to do it. Hold on. See, this is why I miss streaming, because doing this without streaming is kind of borderline insane. But I be doing this shit still. Oh, killed them! Hold on, chat! Hold up, chat! Can y'all see me? Bitch. I do some type of, I don't know, my shit. I don't know my shit. My shit a little different. It's Big Jilla. See, I did all that. I went and got out of breath for that comment. Well, damn. Fuck.
Take it out because he knows Shorty the truth.
Right.
He take the JoJo part out. You could have said anything. You know what I'm saying? You knew that was gonna blow the song up. That's the whole moral of why he did it. And by me being a stand-up nigga for my homie, I got his hands. So when I'm in the county punching niggas, you see King JoJo on my hands.
Whoa.
You see King JoJo on my hands.
Damn.
You feel me? So shit like that, I can't be tolerated shit like that. Like I was saying, you wanna be like my cousin. You know what I'm saying? You wanna be like Dirt and all this shit. If I call blood, you feel me? I hit him up.
Whoa.
I hit him, huh?
You said Dirk your cousin?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
I miss Zack interviews, bro. I miss them. And Zack TV would probably been up there with Say Cheese at right about now, bro. Oh my God, I miss Zack TV shit, bro. Cause he heard what you said. And then he gonna just point it out. So, whoa. Dirk your cousin? Nigga, you just said that, nigga. I miss him.
Yeah.
Because
If we miss some shots.
Do it high. I only ducked the Jakes. Bro stole the car, we didn't hit and had to switch the place. Glock with them sticks and drums. Oh yeah, we super straight. Fuck money, shoot niggas in the face. Get rich if we gotta chase.
Used threats, intimidation, and outright violence to silence witnesses
He did
and
start
maintain
the
the gang's
hood
power.
vlogs. Put respect on Say Cheese Zack TV. He did started the hood vlogs. Let's do your homework.
This indictment lists more than a dozen murders and a slew of other crimes, including a mass shooting outside a funeral home. The July 2020 shooting sent people running for cover. At least 15 people wounded when gunmen inside a black Chevy Malibu opened fire on a crowd gathered for a funeral near 79th and Carpenter.
I remember
that 79th and Carpenter. That's what they don't give two F's about sliding to a funeral. So that's the part we not hanging at. Next time we go to Chicago, I'm making a note in my head as we speak, like, don't go over there. I don't care how good the food is. Damn. They open fire on the crowd, nigga. Oh, y'all don't need to be over there. I'm serious.
being out there after it happened and seeing casings all over the street and the sidewalk. And he said, this is like a war zone.
Chicago, a city where street legends are born, but where street beef can quietly turn into federal crime. For years, what the public saw were isolated shootings, another headline, another victim, another name added to a growing list. But according to federal prosecutors, what was really happening behind the scenes was something far bigger. According to the feds, a neighborhood that's named after a 15-year-old who was gunned down has been indicted 15 years since the demise of that kid, who we'll later go over and pay our respects to. They said for 6 years straight, between 2019 and 2026, they've been in a gruesome war, accused of multiple bodies, even shooting up multiple people leaving a funeral trying to get one target. They say it wasn't random violence. They say this was an organized criminal enterprise, a group known as Faceworld, accused of running the South Side through fear, retaliation, and reputation, using stolen cars to hunt rivals, using guns to send messages, social media and rap music to brag about bodies, taunt the enemies, and build a name that carried weight in the streets. While the violence played out in
Hey, the family, you just named 95% of the drill rappers, and no bat. No bat.
real time, the feds were watching, listening, and recording. The digital trail and conversations all leading to one massive federal case. Today we break it down in chronological order, pay our respects to the victims, check out the real motive from this gruesome war, and see how 2 people from Faceworld was arrested 2 years prior that some say opened their mouths to a bigger investigation. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Before the name Faceworld ever ring bells in the streets, police, before indictments, wiretaps, and federal courtrooms, this area had a different identity. Back around before 2010, the block centered near 79th Street in Normal was known by locals as Boys Town. Not the Boys Town people think of on the north side. Not Lakeview, not Halsted, not the LGBTQ district. This was a completely different...
Y'all want to hear a funny story? Man, please, because it was right next to the baseball field. If you know, you know. And I'm thinking, all right, if it's by a baseball field, we good. Because, like, I can walk out the house and see the baseball field. That's how close the baseball field was. Anyway, nigga, I'm like, all right, we should be good. We should be good. Look, chat. Look, chat. Hey, we pull up to the B&B a little late, like 2, 3 in the morning. All right, cool. So the next day when we get up, get to moving around and shit, I'm noticing shit. I ain't worried about it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm noticing shit. No bullshit. No bullshit. No bullshit. While we was in that exact little, he just made a joke about, that exact part of the city. No bad. And they got this little weed edible shop around the corner from where I was at. It wasn't around the corner, but it was like 5-7 minutes. That's close in Chicago. Look, chat. And we stayed there for like 2 days. Y'all remember when I was recording in the dining room? Up in Chicago? Wake and Bake Cafe. I think, yo. But we was in that exact, I'm like, damn, they had a whole gay city. Hey, I was fucked up, but I'm like, well, that's some horror shit. They gotta, imagine that was for black people. I swear to God. I was slick like, applauding them and slick like, damn, where the fuck did I? It didn't say none of that in the booking. I must ain't read the fine print or something, chat. But word to the man, nigga. I promise you on God's life. That was an autism moment, because where did it come from? I'm fucking going crazy in this house. All right, let's keep it going, chat.
Boys Town, a street name used by people who actually lived and grew up around 79th Street, inside what federal prosecutors now call Faceworld Enterprise territory. And that distinction matters. Now let's mention, in late 2010, Faceworld became a thing. A 15-year-old was killed in Marquette.
Hold up, Chad. My boy off for 60. Something like that.
Park on October 18, 2010. Investigators say Cornell, aka Kingface Henderson, was shot and killed at around 8:30 Sunday, Southwest Side neighborhood. He was a freshman at Chicago Vocational Career Academy. Cornell lived a block away from the shooting scene. He was shot in the back twice, found on the sidewalk in the 2500 block of Lithuania Plaza Court, and taken to Christ Hospital where he was pronounced deceased. He and his 8 brothers and his sister had lived in Marquette Park for only a year. The teen's mother said Henderson loved baseball, basketball, cars, and music. Henderson's mother say he was outside playing with friends and said she does not believe that he was the intended target. She held up 8th grade graduation pictures of Cornell and talked about how she had big hopes for her son. Quote, "He kept me on my toes, a joy to have." One of Cornell Henderson's friends in the neighborhood said she heard the shots, quoting, "I was in my computer room when I heard some gunshots. I didn't really know what it was. Then I got a phone call saying he died. I didn't believe it. Crazy. I didn't know he was in no game." Reports say shell casings from 2 different guns were found at the scene. Henderson family and friends say he never been in trouble with the law. Police confirmed Henderson did not have an arrest record. He was only 15.
Yeah, we out here on the 9. Rest in peace to the boy Face, you know. Young as hell, 15 years old, just got killed. Shot. Got a little tribute out here, so.
IP rest in paradise, my nigga. Ball till you fall, you feel me?
So now you got an idea of who Faceworld is and where that name come from and exactly where it's at. Let's talk about how, according to this new indictment in late 2025, police say a war started in 2019 that led to back-to-back killing and even having Faceworld be responsible for shooting the aftermath of a funeral. But in December of 2023, the FBI had arrested 2 Faceworld members at that time. Dante Hopper, 24 years old, Tay or Tay Savage. And the next was Devion McClure, aka Disco. He was 21 years old at the time. Police said the 2 carried out attacks on robberies.
Them niggas was shooting up funerals, man. I still can't get over that one. Them niggas, hey, don't mess with them niggas. This is Chicago, people. This is Chicago.
Wiggle World, Disciples of David, and 900 gang fraction, according to the December 5th, 2023 indictment. Like other gang crews involved in drill rap, Faceworld sought to boost his status using songs and videos on social media. In the indictment back then, Keyshawn Warlow, 21 years old, was also involved in the conspiracy, but isn't listed as a defendant in the indictment. Keyshawn was charged in a separate federal case for participating in a 2020 carjacking spree. In November of 2023, his lawyer signaled that Keyshawn was thinking about changing his not guilty plea, according to court records. A month later, the indictment states that Hopper, McClure, and Willow were involved in the fatal shooting of Paul Harris on May 13, 2021. Harris was sitting in a vehicle in the 8600 block of South Hall Street at around 5:55 p.m. when 2 people walked up and started firing. According to Chicago police, he was hit in the head and body. The murder was for the purpose of maintaining an increasing position in Faceworld. The indictment say Hopper is accused of pulling the trigger, and apparently the feud had exploded into violence on July 13, 2020, when 21-year-old Faceworld member Tremonti Pace was fatally shot on the 8000 block of South Stewart Avenue. Police sources said the next day, Donnie Weathersby, a 31-year-old Wiggle World member, was killed in a drive-by shooting in the 7400 block of South Stewart Avenue. At the time, sources say they believe Donnie was killed in retaliation for police
they don't do nothing
a week later on July 20.
They don't do nothing but spin. Golly. These niggas relentless with the spin.
May 1st, 2020, 15 people were wounded in a shootout near Rose Funeral Home in the 1000 block of West 79th Street, where a service for Withersby was being held. Before the service, the Chicago Police Department warned officers about the possibility of violence at the funeral home because of an ongoing conflict. Squad cars were parked nearby, and it doesn't appear that the arrests been made in the funeral shooting or killings of Harris Pace or Donnie Weathersby, according to police and court records. The indictment in 2023 against Hopper and McClure follows a pattern. In recent years, the feds have used powerful racketeering status to try to destroy small but violent gang crews. So now we got the backstory on the first indictment in 2023 with just 2 Faceworld members. Let's briefly go over the next one with 6. Just 2 years later in 2025. The first murder in the new indictment was March 15, 2019. Dante Hopper, known as Tay or Tay Savage, shot and killed Antoine Fields, also known as Lil Mister. According to the indictment, Hopper was the shooter, and the co-conspirator drove the vehicle. The killing was intentional, and according to authorities, the killing was to maintain or increase status into Faceworld. The murder became ground zero for the entire RICO case. But let's just
wait. This Tay-Tay nigga is a bug. I know his ops right now. Boy, they happy this nigga off the streets. That's what I'm taking from all this. Tay-Tay is a little bug. I don't know what's gotten to Tay-Tay. That nigga is a serious demon. Serious. Another thing. This nigga about to do life in federal and state penitentiaries. Federal, state penitentiary. He about to do life, and then if he die, come back up, he going to the feds. Cause you got another life sentence to do. And he wasn't even doing this for no money. This nigga was spending off the love of the game. This nigga was spending off the love of the game. No money involved, no nothing. He wasn't a paid hitman, no nothing. This nigga really a psychopath. If you want to be fair, golly. Listen to him.
Indictment was March 15th, 2019. Dante Hopper, known as Tay-Tay or Tay Savage, shot and killed Antoine Fields, also known as Lil Mister. According to the indictment, Hopper was the shooter, and the co-conspirator drove the vehicle. The killing was intentional, and according to authorities, the killing was to maintain or increase status into Faceworld. The murder became ground zero for the entire RICO case. But let's just focus on this case for a second, because the driver, he was identified as a rapper, co-conspirator 3. He ended up losing his life in 2021, but he was a local rapper who was also known to be cousins to Lord Durk. That's why his Instagram, to this day, it got Newski Living. He was identified as Dewey. We'll later come back to him, but check out a clip from his music video, because he was famous for allegedly assisting or taking someone's life and then bragging about it on social media. According to this new indictment, 6 years later, and 4 after his demise.
Stole the car, we didn't hit and had to switch the place. Glock with them sticks, we super straight. For money, shoot niggas in the face. Get rich if we gotta chase. SK or you.
It was also confirmed that Lil Mister was Lord Durk's cousin, as he briefly spoke on in an interview with the late Zack TV. May they both rest in peace.
We's insane. If you with the ops, you can get banged.
But is it can an issue be resolved between you and wildlife? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look, any issue could almost be, you know what I'm saying, resolved. It's just it's all about what you want to do. Cause look, let's say I can't come out there. What it is for them like that out here, ass.
What?
If they tell me I can't come out there today, city how it is coming to the go.
It's hectic out here. If you don't know nobody, you will get left right here with cheat.
And then even if you do know somebody, what I
still to get left.
Come on, man.
They might get left with you.
It's the same shit for everywhere. You feel me? Anything can happen anywhere. Nobody untouchable. Anything can happen up in here, from here to Jersey to Cali. You feel me? It's all about no lacking.
It don't matter where yo what's at. If it's your time, it's just your time. Real.
Hey, speaking of no lacking, man, you was there for that video shoot, right?
Yeah, that was me.
That's folk shit. He made that. Come on, man. Everybody trying to steal
and then
shit.
Look, Zach, I did something special for you too, though. You know what I'm saying? We'll do that like on the interviews. You know, everybody know who my people is. Like, you want to be, and then the thing I'm saying, you want to be like my cousin. You know what I'm saying? You want to be like Dirt and all this shit. If I call blood. You feel me? I hit him up.
Whoa.
I hit him, huh?
You said Dirt your cousin?
Yeah.
Get the f*** out of here.
What's up? Shit's real.
Whoa, hold on, bro.
We coming back. I asked him. I said, what's up, blood? I said, what's up? He say, shit, brother, what you on? I said, shit, man, these niggas in New York squeaking. They try to make the interviews this and Dirt say, man, niggas do anything, man. Come on, I say Dirt. Man, he say he the New York Dirt. He say niggas do anything, man. If you don't turn your goofy down. Niggas not on that Dirt, not on that JoJo, all that little JoJo shit. Me and Blood, the deceased, all that little JoJo, everything gonna be what it is. But ain't no disrespect to Shorty. You feel me? A lot behind that. It's a lot behind that. So for y'all.
Now, according to the feds, after the demise of Lord Mister of March of 2019, the violence.
Man, R.I.P. Lil Mister, man. I ain't give his music enough respect, man. Career ass on the Motion Club. Appreciate you. Hey man, I ain't give his music enough attention, man. Should I go back and revisit Lil Mister music? Leave that for me down in the comments. Matter of fact, if it's already gonna be a year, leave this. The 3 songs. We're gonna do a 3-in-1.
Escalated fast. The following month, April 1st, 2019, Tawan Tapler, aka T.Y., had opened fire where 2 women were killed and another victim was wounded. The 2 women worked as peacekeepers on the Chicago South Side. They were shot and killed in the neighborhood they worked to protect. Chantel Grant, 26, and Andrea Stoudemire, 36, were both mothers of 4 children who worked with their own mom to stem violence in the Inglewood neighborhood. Both women were hit by gunfire on the corner of West 75th Street and South Stewart Ave that is often occupied by members of the group Mothers Against Senseless Violence. May they both rest in peace and love and condolences to their families.
Police tape.
Wow. Nah, bro. Nah, Brody got to do that time. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to y'all. Buddy got to do that time, man. That's crazy.
Shattered windows, police tape, candles, and handwritten signs in memory. They are among the indications that someone died here. Another shooting. This one Friday night, claiming the lives of 2 young mothers, Chantel Grant and Andrea Stoudemire. But this was not just another shooting. Not here. A place where neighbors and the group called Mothers Against Senseless Killing vowed to keep safe.
It's a great round as far as we're concerned. You know, this was a haven that was built by Musk.
4 years ago, members of the group vowed to take back the corner and keep it safe for women and children after another murder here. They patrolled it every day for the entire summer, hosting barbecue.
I just read a comment. That nigga said he had a beaded jacket on. And I can't unsee it. That nigga did have a beaded jacket. Oh man. What's good, Jack? What's good, Jack?
Maria Pike got involved after losing her 24-year-old son, Ricky, to violence.
It is personal because any kind of violence, regardless of whether you are the affected or you are the offender, is wrong.
Neighbors say the 2 victims lived down the street and were doing their best to raise their children safely in a place where violence is often commonplace.
The lack of humanity is shocking.
The Chicago police detectives from Area South are investigating the case, but at this point, they have no motive and no one in custody.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, 6 years later they would, but the next incident took place just 2 months after. According to the indictment, Faceworld had shot up a CTA bus. Innocent bystanders and passengers were hit. Prosecutors say this wasn't an accident. It was gang violence spilling into public spaces. That same month, police say it was an armed robbery. Victims assaulted at gunpoint by Faceworld. One of the victims was S.A. Multiple defendants allegedly involved, and this wasn't chaos. Prosecutors say it was Faceworld expanding control through fear. The feds say,
man, these niggas is crazy. I keep saying don't mess with these niggas and don't mess with these niggas. Don't mess with these niggas. They raping people. Man, I watched Snowfall. I swear to God. They went and got a crazy nigga. This season 1. They went and got a crazy nigga to do their dirty work, right? Tell me why this nigga end up raping Buddy. Not Franklin, but he ended up raping the buddy that did the dirt, and they went and got somebody. That nigga ended up raping dude, man. I wish I could throw the clip in here because that was some wild work. This was 80s. That's how AIDS got around. He did what? He raped the nigga. Niggas get raped every day, B. In prison. Some of them niggas actually want it. It's crazy. It's crazy in there. And beat him with a bat. See what I'm saying? And on the street, he did that on the street. Hey. But see, niggas is vouching what I'm talking about, though.
Next month, for a couple of months, was a drive-by warfare. The indictment repeatedly described the same patterns. Members riding through Wiggle World territory, saying people they believe were rivals, making a group decision to shoot. On July 26, 2019, and in this second indictment, they had the late July incident that we talked about that killed the 2 women. In the first indictment, 2 years prior. But then police go on and say, just a month later, on August 3rd, 2019, Calvin Say, aka D-Rose, is killed. He was outside his home at around 1:30 p.m. in the 7300 block of South Store Street when someone in a gray vehicle pulled up and shot him. Chicago police and the Cook County Medical Examiner office said that he was shot in the head and chest, taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center, where he was pronounced deceased less than a half an hour later. May he rest in peace and level condolences to his family. The very next day, the memorial was targeted. Cornelius Jordan, aka CJ, was killed. He was just 21 years old, gunned down on the 6900 block.
Boy, back to back. These boys are ball hogs. Pass the ball!
Assault Whitworth was sitting in his car. He was on the Inglewood neighborhood south side. Female passenger in the car was also shot. May he rest in peace and level condolences to his family. Since CJ losing his life in this indictment, police wouldn't have nothing else until 8 months later the following year, May of 2020. And this is the most detailed plot in the indictment. Prosecutors alleged 2 cars were used. Phones were parked to track the victim. The shooters exited 1 car. A gas station parking lot was chosen. Paul Harris was shot multiple times and killed. They say Dante Hopper helped plan it.
He the leading scorer. He the leading scorer, chat.
Had a gun and coordinated the moments. Once again, they thing was giving headshots. Paul was shot in the head at just 22 years old, sitting in his vehicle at around 5:56 p.m. in the 8600 block of South Hall Street when 2 people walked up and started shooting into the vehicle. This part shocks juries. After Donald lost his life in July 2020, who we mentioned in the first indictment in 2023, prosecutors say Faceworld didn't stop there. They allegedly planned retaliation, drove to his funeral, opened fire into a crowd, and wounded multiple people. That was one of the moments prosecutors would use to show reckless disregard for human life. Now, it was rumored that Donald lost his life and was killed by Ronnie, allegedly after catching him sleeping with his girlfriend, leaving him gunned down while he was in his
BG, what going on?
Then police mentioned 4 more murders in this indictment. Between 2020 and 2021, Osama Ibrahim, aka Samo, an aspiring rapper, killed for allegedly exposing addresses. When he was gunned down, Faceworld members like Lil Durk Cousin had went to his Instagram page to brag about it, who happens to be one of his alleged killers, Dontrell Johnson, aka Blaze. He was killed, according to the feds, after being identified as a rival. Officers responded at around 7:20 p.m. to a call of shots fired in the 7500 block of South Lafayette Avenue and found 2 people with gunshot wounds. A shattered window can be seen at the drive-thru of a KFC, according to the media reports. 25-year-old Dontrell was pronounced deceased at the scene. May he rest in peace.
Niggas can't even go get KFC no more, bro. That's really about to make me mad, bro. KFC my favorite. This is my favorite. And niggas can't go get KFC? That's what you telling me now in Chicago. This some bullshit. This some bullshit. They got me all right, nigga.
Just like many of the other victims who was shot in the head and pronounced dead, the other person was a 19-year-old man taken to the University of Chicago Medical Center in good condition, with a gunshot wound to his hand.
Man, get the KFC out, yeah.
Robertson, aka Bean, he was killed on the highway. Darrell was 24 years old, was shot to death on I-57 near Halston, Washington Heights neighborhood in Southside, April 8, 2021. May he rest in peace and level condolences to his family. The last victim in this indictment was Harold Green, killed using a stolen Kia after a prior robbery attempt. Harold Green was 54 years old and was shot to death in the overnight hours in the 6700 block of South Jeffrey, South Shore neighborhood, Southeast Side, on April 11, 2021. May he rest in peace and level condolences to his family. But you know, this is self-snitching era. And years later, the case tightens. Prosecutors rely on recorded jail calls, phone taps, rap lyrics, social media posts. Defendants are caught discussing ongoing investigations, who is cooperating, loyalty to Faceworld, fear of rats. And one post even say, if your plea deal have you agreeing to anything incriminating, you're a rat. And by this point, the government already has years of evidence. Everyone is charged with participating in the criminal enterprise, agreeing violence would occur, benefiting from murders, drugs, and robberies. Count 2, Dante Hopper, murder of Antoine Fields, and death penalty eligible factors listed. Count 3, Tyron and Tyjon, murder of Cornelius, planning and premeditation emphasized. Because this federal, they all face a life without parole. Mandatory minimums, sentences enhancements, and cooperation pressure. These is the type of cases where people flip quietly. Evidence keeps coming. The trial becomes a war of timelines. When it's murder, ain't no such thing as statute of limitations.
This years-long effort to silence witnesses.
Boy, they all told on themselves. I'm kind of perturbed with that fact.
And rival gang members that allegedly included more than a dozen murders and other crimes, many of which have gone unsolved. It was a stunning moment of violence that sent scores of people running. The July 2020 drive-by shooting near 79th and Carpenter, as a crowd gathered for a funeral, wounded 15 people, most of them women.
I remember being out there after it happened and seeing casings all over the street and the sidewalk. And he said, this is like a war zone.
Father Michael Flaker offered a $15,000 reward after the shooting, which prosecutors now say was gang retaliation. It's one of a string of shootings detailed in a federal indictment charging 6 alleged members of the Faceworld street gang with racketeering, conspiracy, and other charges.
Cowards are the ones that spray crowds and shoot at crowds. If I remember right, there were children out there at the time with the adults.
Prosecutors say for years the defendants committed murder, attempted murder, assault, and other acts of violence, keeping victims' rival gang members and witnesses in fear, allowing the gang to engage in drug trafficking, theft, including carjackings, and other crimes.
It's right in the sweet spot of what the U.S. Attorney's Office does. It's a classic RICO gang conspiracy. They've done them for years, and this fits right in the mold.
The indictment also charges one of the defendants with the 2019 murders of 18-year-old Brittany Rice and 19-year-old Zenobia Brantley, who both worked at Walmart and were sitting in a vehicle after work near 77th and Eggleston. Another co-worker in the car was wounded.
It's a long-running criminal gang with a lot of murders to their name, and you can tell that by the charges.
All 6 defendants are in custody. If convicted, they could receive life sentences. And because these are federal charges, 3 of those defendants could face the death penalty.
Man, we just talked about a Chicago gang who...
Hey. Lock them niggas up. They were wild. That's all I gotta say. It's your boy Storm Go.